An interview with a very lovely lady. Okay, so today we are interviewing the Black Widow, and if you don't like and love her before watching this, you most certainly will afterwards. You are guaranteed to go and subscribe to her channel. Please do enjoy, because I enjoyed making this one. Okay, hello, it's me, the Invertabarian, and the wee man. Say hello. Oh no. And today we are with...
I'm Scarlett, I'm the Black Widow.
Okay, and we have a few questions for you today, and he's just going to stand there being an absolute nugget. Okay, so looking back through your YouTube, you actually started about, I noticed you actually started producing videos about 4 years ago, basically with snakes, very much reptile based. And then about a year or so ago, you sort of switched to the arachnids, the tarantulas, that kind of thing. So what was the reason for the transition and the kind of gap between the two?
Well, briefly, it was I did have a Burmese python and a boa constrictor, and the reason I changed over was at the time Henry, my Burmese python, got very, very large. I did have to unfortunately rehome him when I fell pregnant with my daughter. My partner being away all the time in the military meant that I could not wrangle him out on my own. And spiders seemed easier to care for. Spiders just seem easier to look after. So I thought, oh, it's something still a little bit quirky and a bit different. So I just gave it a go, and I've kind of fallen in love with it.
Brilliant.
I now have snakes. I now.
Yeah, my wife is very much a snake kind of person, but for me, it's always been about the arachnids.
Yeah.
So obviously, when I first started watching you, when we first met, your channel was under a different name, and you then changed it to the Black Widow. I know we've spoken about this, but just for anyone watching, what was the reason for the name change? What was the original name?
No, it was the Spider Woman or the Spider Girl, and there's another lady under the same name, and I just thought, seeing as we're a community that sort of we're quite tightly knitted, it would probably be better if I created something a little different. And I really like the way that Black Widows look, and I thought that maybe in the future it would make a very cool logo. So that's the change.
Okay, which brings us on to the next question. Now, Black Widows are kind of considered notorious for consuming the males. So my question is, have you ever eaten any men?
Maybe. A fair few, maybe.
Okay, before we get yourself arrested for cannibalism, where do you see your channel by the end of 2018? By the end of this year, what's the goal for you?
I'd like to hit 1,000. That would be 1,000 subscribers. That would be a really good goal for me. I think that's a year, 1,000 people, and that's kind of my main goal. And even if I don't, I'm really happy with what I have got. I get a lot of feedback from people. I have people messaging me on Instagram asking me questions, and that's all I really wanted, was to be able to educate, really, and entertain to some degree.
Okay, nobody bothers messaging me. So, are there any projects on the horizon that you're prepared to discuss with us just now?
Yes, so I have a couple of paired females that I have paired. I've got my P. cambridgei, I've got a C. leetzi, which is like a dwarf species. My Balfouri female is looking really good. She's webbing up and doing everything that she should be doing. So those are the kind of things that I've already got sort of going on. But I have got some sort of collabs coming up, and I can't really say who with, but that will hopefully be interesting. Oh, and of course, I can now announce this because I announced it on YouTube, on the community.
That's what I was after.
That's the one you was after. I thought so. That's like the bigger one that's just popped into my head. I will be filming for Spiders World EU in November.
That's going to be
awesome.
awesome.
Invited to go. He's a lovely guy. And I have family over there. And when I mentioned that I was going to go over and see family, and I asked if I could come and see the collection, not to film, just to go and view. And he said, oh, you're a YouTuber. No, we've got a new store. Come and film. Petco was the last person to film, but they've got a bigger place now. No, so no one has filmed there yet. So
yeah, that'll be real. Yeah, you're all banned from it.
Stop it. Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to be an exciting
Oh,
video.
so am I.
Looking
I'm
forward
so
to.
excited, and I'm going to try not to go and like spend crazy amounts of money while I'm there and have them ship it all to me.
I know, because that's the dangerous part, isn't it?
It is. I'm going to be safe. I've also been given permission to film at Auschwitz as well.
Oh, oh, I'm
Which,
definitely going to be. Yeah, this is
yeah, which isn't
definitely.
usually very common. There are certain parts that you can't film, but after talking to them, they have kindly suggested, as long as I'm respectful about the way that I do it. So I use my mobile, not a great big camera equipment and
Yeah.
things. As long as I'm nice and respectful, then they are more than
Oh,
happy
there's
to
going to be other
do that.
people there that are perhaps
Absolutely.
linked to it somehow. They're
Anybody
not.
at
Yeah,
any point,
it's got
absolutely.
quite a
If anybody
sensitive
at any
thing.
point asks me to stop filming, then I will.
Likewise, if you ask me to stop filming, I'll.
Yeah. No, you could go ahead. I'm fine.
Well, you say that now, but we're only about 5 questions in.
Yeah. I'm waiting for
So your
1,000
leech feed in
questions.
obviously was quite a big video. It certainly gained a lot of attention,
It
both
did.
sort of within the YouTube and certainly within the Facebook community. It was a lot of positives and negatives came off.
Yes.
But at the end of it, you did produce a very educational and very
I hope
informative.
so.
I really enjoyed it. But my question
Good, I hope
is, who would you most like to feed to your leech? And don't say Dan, because
Oh, who would I like to feed to my leech? I think I would have to feed Lucy from Lucy's Little Critters, because she's a little bit of a. I love her. I love her so much, but she's a little bit of a nervous Nelly, and I just wanna attach something to her and let her get on with it. She might like it.
she might. You've got to experience life a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so that kind of almost ties into our next question. Of 3 YouTubers you would most like to do collaborative work with.
Okay, so the three main ones is you, definitely, because you were the one that introduced me mainly into this community. I felt like a celebrity when you did the shout out with all of my favorite YouTubers, and it was just incredible. The second one I would like to do is Exotic Slayer. I'd love to go and see Exotic Slayer and Winton White.
He seems to be popping up quite a lot. Everybody seems to have quite a soft spot for him.
I think that he is going to go really far. I think he's gonna go places.
Yeah, I think this is every video his name's popped up in.
Yes.
So is there anything that you don't have that you would love to add to your collection, or anything really obscure that you think you would love to add to the collection?
Oh, anything obscure? The only thing that I can think of that I would like to keep is I would really like a Celedonia. It's not really obscure. I know that some people are not too keen on them. I actually would really, really like one. I'm just not willing to pay the money for a speck on the wall that costs 300 quid. So I'm just not.
That, and they might disappear out the hobby soon enough with the Brazilian laws. And...
Absolutely. I'm waiting for someone like Tarantula Dan to breed his, and then I'll get some from him.
It's a bit of a cloudy subject, the Celedonia, isn't it,
just now. Otherwise, an anaconda.
Nice. Because, of course,
anaconda.
Yeah, that would be fun for you to wrestle with.
Yes.
Okay, so a correct question off the back of that. Is there anything you would never consider adding to your collection as a big no?
Yes, so I am not great with true spiders. I have dabbled in a few, and so far I can't seem to get over the creepy feeling that I get when I'm around them. And I think, is it the funnel web? So the very poisonous, not poisonous, the very venomous, the very, very venomous species.
Yeah, nasty bite.
Nasty bite. They really freak me out. That is not something. Having said that, I said that about centipedes, and I now have 3. So we'll see.
I said about Scorpion when I first came into the tarantula hobby. I said that I don't understand why people would want to keep scorpions. I think they're absolutely just ugly. I don't get the appeal of them. I don't understand it. And then, long story short, I got offered a couple. Thought, what the heck? In for a penny and all that.
Yeah.
Got the pair, and then after that, just fell in love.
I love my centipedes, and I want all of them now. Whereas before, I was not having centipedes in my house, not doing it. But no, I now love them. So we'll see. But trues are still a little bit. They make me a bit uncomfortable.
Yeah, fair enough. I leaning more towards dabbling with trues.
You seem to do very well with trues. I do have some
I don't know,
widows at the moment that I'm raising up, and it's kind of giving me a different experience, which is nice.
So I have noticed, looking through your Facebook, you have certainly an eclectic range of interests.
Yes.
But what is it that attracts you to Balls Deep Sports Team?
It's an airsoft team, people. Okay, let's just keep this PG. And it's my friend. He's actually a new YouTuber. His name's Reese, although it's spelt Rise, RHYS. He's new. He just joined the community, but it's actually pronounced Reese. His name's Reese, the Creature Cave, and he's a really good friend of mine, and he plays airsoft. That's his kind of group, which is why I joined up to watch. That is the only reason.
Okay, so we'll move on a little bit now that I've landed that one. Favourite horror movie?
Oh, favourite horror movie? Jeez. Oh, I've got too many. Amityville Horror.
The original or the remake?
The original.
Have you seen the remake?
I haven't seen the remake.
You're not missing much.
Okay, I didn't think I would.
It's actually all right. It's actually all right if I recall correctly. It's not the worst of all the horror movies.
I think they were scarier than the crap we throw out now. Sorry, can I say crap? No.
You can say crap. It's all right. Crappity crap makes sense. So, would you say you draw inspiration from other YouTubers, or do you try and keep your content as original, like to yourself as you can? And if you do, who would you say are your main influences?
It's a bit of both, really. I'm trying to venture a little bit more outside of the box. I'm trying to acquire some species that aren't very often seen, more of the Asian, Thailand sort of aggressive stuff, because I would like to do something a little different rather than the same thing. So I try not to post too many feeding videos and things like that. And the leech video, that's not something that's done very often. So I'm trying to do something a little bit outside of the box. I've always been one for a bit of controversy. I can't help it. But who would I say I take inspiration from? I think Tarantula Dan really got me interested in the hobby initially, just because he seems to, it's like the updates and it's not just the feeding. He does the collection tours and things. He does constant updates of what's going on in his collection, and it almost feels like a vlog of his sort of life.
I've noticed, and this is maybe just an observation I made, but I think certainly since you and Lucy of Lucy's Little Critters have you've bonded, certainly, I think I've noticed small influences of hers starting to appear in your material.
Absolutely.
Which I think is nice. I think it's nice to. It's not too much. It's not like you're copying, but there's little tweaks, and I think that's a real nice.
Made me be more enthusiastic in my videos, to try and be a bit more smiley, a bit more fun, a bit more entertaining, because I've always enjoyed that in her videos. And I think it just gives you a bit more personality. And that is my personality anyway. I think sometimes when I'm in front of a camera, I just sort of feel a bit mopey and I'm sort of just doing things.
Moody and gloomy.
I'm trying to be a bit more perky.
Okay, so what would you say is the best and worst or most enjoyable / least enjoyable part of doing YouTube?
I would say the most enjoyable is this community that I'm in. I don't think I've ever been part of anything so generous, kind, caring, supportive from a bunch of people that I've not really met. I've met a few here and there, but everybody is so willing to be so lovely, even when they don't really know you. And I love that. I think it's because we're all a bunch of weirdos, if I'm completely honest. But I would say the worst for me is judgmental people. I kind of feel like if you make a mistake and you post it or you put it in a tarantula group, you get absolutely slaughtered for it, even if it's something that somebody else has made a mistake on and he didn't get told off, but I do. It's like a versus elitist type situation.
I've made it abundantly clear. I said a long time, I left a huge number of tarantula related groups just for that very reason. It should the intentions are to help others, not to belittle, as you've said.
Absolutely. I don't need somebody to tell me that I shouldn't have a collection simply because one of my slings died. It happens. The reason tarantulas have lots of babies is because some of them don't make it. So you know.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there's always the know-it-alls that know everything and have never failed in their life. Exactly. Okay, so you've mentioned Tarantula Dan. So out of Tarantula Dan, Gar, Predator Prey Online, and of course Bug Realm Sam, who would you keep? Who would you send off for breeding? And who would you sell?
I think I would keep Gar.
All right.
I think I would keep Gar. I think because I think he's funny and entertaining. I think he would just keep me entertained, and I like the accent as well. I would sell Dan because I think he'd go for quite a lot with his Celadonias. So I think I'd get, and all of his collection, I think I'd get a fair amount, which means I would unfortunately have to breed Sam. And do I really need to give an explanation for why Sam would be good for breeding?
On to the next question.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've spoken about the Tarantula YouTube community. I have there we go. That's not getting edited out. So you made a huge, Jesus. You know, within the YouTube community, the Tarantula YouTube community, you've made a lot of contributions, as we've said, some of which you've been quite public about, and others, at times, you have wished to remain sort of anonymous for your own reasons, which is absolutely perfectly respectable, and you don't have to justify it. But what I would like to know off the back of that is, what's your favourite filling in a panini?
My favourite filling in a panini is tuna, mayo, and cheese. And cucumber.
There we go.
Cucumber.
I like a bit of cucumber. Top 3 recommended suppliers.
3 recommended suppliers: the Spider Shark, Andy from So Many Legs. And I think I would say Creatures of the North.
Okay, that's your 3. Done. No going back now.
No.
3 channels, look, we're on to numbers now. 3 channels that you think deserve a higher number of subs than perhaps they have just now, or that you think are going to blow up over the next months, year, or whatever. 3 channels that you think have got what it takes to do really well.
I would love to see and think that yours would do really well, especially with the truths, because I don't feel like many people have kind of touched on that aspect, and I think you should do like a really big collection tour soon. I would love to see that, and I want to see the Pac-Man frog as well.
I not to give too much away, but I am working. There's a video in motion. The beginning part is filmed. I don't want to say too much more, but there is work underway on. Pac-Man.
Good. I would love to see your channel grow because you do so much for the community. I think it's only fair. I think Winter Night, definitely. I'm just but I know that that's a matter of time. I'm just waiting for the day that his channel just disappears and we're all left in the midst. And I would say Dan from Stick and Mix. I think he's got really, really good content, and I think he will go really, really far, with his channel, and I would like him to.
Yeah, he's a truly amazing fella. I've known Dan. I've actually known Dan for a long time prior to this. We met through ant keeping.
Wow!
We'll discuss that because, believe it or not, he is actually going to be my next guest on here. So I don't want to say too much more. But his questions have been written out and are ready to go. We should be filming that over the next couple of days. So there you go. Spoiler alert.
I'll look forward to that. He deserves a break, that boy.
He's amazing. That's all I'm going to say. So anyway, you and I, that we've never actually discussed, but through nosying through your Facebook, I've noticed that we both share an absolute passion for vampires. Yes, quality. Yes. And I was wondering, I'm going to move my pad away. I've never actually drawn this conclusion until I was writing down this question, but in many ways, if you sit and think about it, tarantulas are very similar to spiders in that they both suck their prey dry and sort of leave dead, if you will.
And they have 2 fangs.
And they have 2 fangs and they're predominantly nocturnal, and there's a lot of similarities there. So, based on this sort of conclusion, would you say that, in fact, you're just a little bit crazy?
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah.
Is that applicable? Really that might be applicable for us all.
A vampire.
I've spent my entire youth trying to work that one out.
Me too. Yeah, me too.
You will actually be glad to know that that is your questions done. Yay! I've tried to keep it as civil as possible. I've changed a few, I've tweaked a few, and for you, that is your.
Thank you for having me.
But thank you ever so much for taking part in this. So all that's left for me to do is say a goodbye from me. I would say bye-bye from him, but he's over there playing with toy cars.
Bye,
and we're not going to get a chance. So bye-bye from me and a bye-bye from you.
Bye.
And we'll join you next time. Please do like and subscribe to both The Black Widow, myself, and all the channels that have been mentioned in this video. Thank you ever so much for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So that was The Black Widow, and I'm pretty sure you have realised by watching that she is just such a lovely person with an absolute heart of gold who would do anything for anyone. Absolutely amazing person, and encompasses everything that the Tarantula YouTube community is all about. Thank you ever so much for watching, and a huge thank you to Scarlett for taking part. It was absolutely amazing, and I had such a lovely chat with you. More after the camera stopped rolling than probably the interview itself. But please do go check out our channel. I'm pretty sure if you're watching me, you're already subscribed to our channel anyway. But regardless of that, if not, go subscribe and subscribe to my channel as well, please, because that would really help me out. Comments below, as always, love reading them. Look forward to having a browse through them. Get those comments down there, and we will speak to you next time. You've already kind of giveaway as to what's coming up on our next interview with a video, so no, spoilers already happened. See you next time. Bye bye for now. Bye.